Game Dev Diary number one. I repeated this intro like 6 times, and diary sounds weird when I said diary. Diary, it doesn't even sound like a world. I'm not gonna repeat the intro. But yeah, Game Dev Diary number one. It is currently April. It's April 21st of 2024. It's like almost 2 a.m. right now. And I haven't made a video in a long time. I was on I'll show you my personal YouTube channel. On this channel, Nikita Rusu, I post like weekly progress reports, and I talked about how I basically talk about my life, what I'm doing, like what's the past week, what's my plans and shit, what am I working on type shit. Show my money, start off with crypto and stuff. But I basically report back on my weekly progress in life general, talk about like problems I'm dealing with or like what I'm working towards to, yada yada. But since I'm taking game dev seriously, and that's what I'm gonna be all about. That's how I want to make my money, game dev. That's what I always wanted to do. This whole YouTube channel started out with the end goal of basically the backstory. I started like a side little business that I want to make money off of YouTube. Then crypto came along, and basically all this was going towards was game dev. And then I had a change of heart right here, like no more daily videos, priorities change, I'm going full-time into game dev, yada yada. But basically, my original idea was, okay, I'm gonna make a shit ton of money from like crypto. Well, first it was like YouTube. I'm gonna do something on YouTube. Got some inspiration from Hamza, the self-improvement guy. I've been watching him. I mean, I stopped watching him a long time ago, but got the inspiration. Hey, gonna talk about red pill shit, and then grow my audience, and then I'll sell something, yada yada. And now, before I like go more into the lore, this series, Game Dev Diary, will be a series like basically I'll do every single day, and I'll be just showing off what I'm working on my game dev pursuits. Like today I'm going to be talking about like I'm trying to grow a widget. I have something else. This is what I'm currently working on. But if we go to the maps, I'll show you a little bit of my main thing right here. Come on, testing ground. I did this. Boom, moving. This is network too. I'll show you that in a bit. Right now I'm working on learning how to make widgets and like make a menu basically. But basically, Game Dev Diary will be all about me showing you what I'm working towards, the problems I'm dealing with, and basically just reporting back every single day at the end of the day, and just saying, hey, working towards on this shit, trying to fix this, trying to learn this, trying to figure out how to do this thing, like the widget right now. And yeah, and just documenting my progress of me learning how to do this stuff, and slowly building towards my games around. I'll talk about that right now. I'm gonna try to make these videos like 30 minutes long or an hour max long. I don't want these to be, because I'm gonna be doing these every day. So that's the one thing I haven't been uploading on this YouTube channel, because like I'm spending my time on actually like making the game Zone, and like I don't want to spend too much time like talking about trying to make a game. I actually want to be making the game. And I made like a tutorial video, just got my toes dipped a little bit, just a quick one though. Whenever I figure out a problem, like to make a tutorial so future people don't have to suffer, even as simple as like, and not even like crazy hard, but if you don't know, you don't know. So made that video about how to update skeleton weights with new weight paint from Blender. That's what I had to do. But yeah, so that's what the series is going to be about, and it'll be basically every single day, or at least close to it, at the end of the day. Just a little wrap up today. But yeah, so I'm not even gonna get into the lore, but basically I'm doing game dev, and that's how I'm going to make my money, and that's what I'll be known for. That's going to be my career, and that's what I want to do. And that's what I'm dedicating my life to, is not mastering game dev, but basically just putting everything into game dev, and just this is gonna be the thing that I do is game dev. And yeah, this is where I'm gonna spend all my time developing and doing this business, game development, and making games. So let's get started. Now, I don't know if I want to talk about my personal life. I kind of want to because it kind of fits with this because game dev is my life. It's a good part. I mean, what else do you do? I work out. Because like work, like whatever you do for work, even like in the old times, like you're known for something. Like you're either guy, the hunter, or you're the farmer. Like work is a part of your life. You know, like in the old times, you had to like go chop wood and shit. And I mean, it depends what age you're talking about. Maybe your buddy, you go get some fucking logs from him, and you know, you give him some eggs in return. But you get the point. Like, you're a human, a dude, a man, and a woman. Work towards like everybody has their own interest and their own thing that they do. Some people are, you know, fucking doctors, some people are chefs, and some people are game developers. And basically everybody has, you know, I don't know where I'm fucking going with this, but basically everybody has a duty to fulfill, and to get really good at that skill trade, you need to be interested in it. And yeah, I want to retake this video. I'm doing a shitty fucking take, but basically everybody has a job to fulfill, and my brain finds game development interesting. Maybe that's because I played a lot of games like Rust. I'll show you my Steam account real quick. You know, I'm a big fan. I don't play games. I haven't played games in 2 years, and I don't have any interest in playing games because now I don't find playing games anymore interesting. I just don't. My brain just doesn't find them fun anymore. And that's the one thing. It's like I don't enjoy games anymore. They don't tickle my fancy anymore. Like I used to be a hardcore gamer. Like what I mean by hardcore gamer is like my life is just playing the games that I've been playing. Like which game am I gonna main? You know, I could easily spend like 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day playing a game like Rust, Ark, Daisy. That's why I have like thousands of hours in these games. Because like they were essentially my life. That's like I was basically in the metaverse type shit. Like the reason why I woke up was to like basically play the game and basically get good at it and just spend my living hours playing these games. And I basically were fucking immersed into it. Like, because the thing is, like, games, like, what's the difference between like a game in real life? Like, life is a game in of itself. And like Rust, Ark, like, it's just another world that you get into. Like you have responsibilities in this game. You have and there's consequences for now, like performing actions. It's basically you know, what's the difference between like spending time? And the thing is like, oh, you're wasting your time on video games. Like, but it's like people say, oh, stop playing video games. Like, go walk in a park. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna get into all that shit, but basically, like, to wrap this fucking thing up, it's like when people say like, oh, stop playing video games, you know, it's maybe, you know, it's kind of like a bad habit too, because you're sitting all day and like you're worsening your vision. At least for me, like my vision got very worse, very bad. Some people don't lose vision staring at a computer screen all the time. I did though. I'm like minus 2 diopters, minus 2.5, well 2.25. I wear glasses. I used to have 20/20 vision before. But it's like the idea of like, hey, don't play video games, go do something else, go like hang out with your friends. Like, it's like at the end of the day, it's you're spending time and you're enjoying spending your time doing something. That's either playing video games, or going walking in a park, like you're technically wasting time on everything, but it's like it's not wasted time if you enjoyed spending that time doing whatever you want. That's either playing video games or hanging out with your buddies or going on a walk. Like nothing is a waste of time, truly, um, unless if it doesn't fit your goals. Like if you want to get rich as fuck and you want to make money, playing video games doesn't really help you do that unless you're like a streamer or something. But at the end of the day, time is meant to be enjoyed. And if you want to play 8 hours a day, if you get enjoyment spending 8 hours a day playing a video game, there's really no difference between like going out and hanging out with your buddies. Like it's all technically a waste of time. Yeah, fuck. I spent too much time. You know, the serious about it, like showing me what problem I'm facing with game development. Yeah, who gives a fuck? But the thing is, so yeah, that's like a little rambling session of that shit. So, you know, I'm making a game because right now, you know, I don't find any fulfillment in playing other games because I grew up and I want to make money and I want to make games too. The other idea about me a little bit, I'm the type of person who like, I need to be in the control, not in a bad way. Like I'm a control freak or I'm like not like controlling people, but I want to be the decision maker because in all these games, the reason why I even got inspired to like become a video game developer, like, well, at least like design games. My original plan was to get rich as fuck. And then I would hire all the developers. I would hire the programmers, the artists, the 3D modelers, the animators. And I have all this money from whatever the fuck crypto. Now I'd score big in crypto and I'll make all this money. And then I would hire all these people to make a game for me. And basically what I was trying to be was a game designer. Basically, I designed the game, you know, make it up, like make a game design document. And then I would have basically somehow like translate that design document to my team of programmers, animators, and basically make the game. I'm not going to get into all that, but basically that was the plan. But now I'm actually, I become the game developer now. I animated, I made the model that I'll show you, like the character and like those animations that you briefly saw, like me running around, was all my work. And I learned how to do that, you know, retopology, like doing the 3D modeling, retopologizing it, texturing it, coding, all that shit. I did that. So, yeah, my game that I'm playing now is basically figuring out this game dev shit, and this is my game now. My game that I main right now is making video games, not playing them, but making them. I don't get enjoyment of playing them, but I do get enjoyment of making them. This is a game for me. It's a challenge for me to make these games and like figuring all this shit out. Like, kind of weird feeling because I never thought I would like not want to play video games before, because before I used to be, you know, spend 12 hours a day playing a game. And now I don't have any interest of playing that, you know, because maybe I grew up and needed to make money, and I'm not a fan of like other ways of making money, like going like this is how I want to make my money. I want to make games. So get back to the point. Like the reason why I wanted to get into game development in the first place was because when I play these games, you know, if we go Steam again. You know, playing Rust, Ark, Daisy. There's a lot of things in H1Z1, Last Oasis. Like, I enjoyed playing these games when I did play them. And there was always, I wanted to be in control because there are some things I didn't like about these games. And things like features I would want to add to these games, but, you know, I didn't have any control over it and I couldn't like say anything. And I basically, at the end of the day, couldn't like add the features or change the things that I wanted to change about these games to make them more fun for me. Maybe like a design decision that they did, like for example in like Rust. Even now, I think like the fucking aim cone that they add, like so it's like if you can't like fucking basically it makes it RNG. Like if you're far away, you can't spray. You can't like if you know, there's a recoil pattern in that game for the AK spray, for example, like the AK spray. Before you could like, you know, practice that AK recoil, and you can basically fucking laser someone like across the map if you were good and you spend the time mastering the recoil. But now, if you shoot someone far away, it doesn't matter how good you are. There's an aim cone, and basically, it's an RNG. Now, the closer you are, the more the aim cone fits in the body. But if someone's like far away, no matter what you do, it's basically RNG because there's an aim cone. That's not the best way to explain it, but whatever. So that's Rust. Arc, for example. I mean, Arc is a fun game, but I don't like the PvP of it. The PvP in Arc is so fucking garbage. The players are small and they move around like a 300 kilometers a second. The hitboxes are shit. It's not good PvP. Like, I mean, it's meant to be like dinos and shit, but it's like it's very janky. Like the PvP of fucking Arc, it's shit. Personally, like the weapon, like it's just garbage. It's not like Rust. Like I don't know how to explain, but basically just it's so fucking like if you watch the PvP of Arc, like on the foot ground PvP, players shooting each other with weapons, like so fucking garbage. Like what the fuck? Like what is this shit? It feels like you're playing like you're on a modded server playing like with super speed and like you're fucking. It's like especially when you do bola fights, like when you throw bolas at each other, like it's so fucking weird. But yeah, and also I had cool ideas for games that I wanted to make that are like not even like close to these ones. Well, kind of inspired to. But I couldn't make them because I don't have the skill set to make the games I wanted to make, inspired from these games especially, and that's because I didn't have the skills. And I always wanted to make those games, but I just didn't have the skills. So then I finally said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna like learn these skills by myself and make a decently game, not a AAA game, but I mean the game I'm making is fucking crazy scope." But here I'll show you my game design doc, and there's a lot of ones. I even talked about them in my YouTube channel. Like I had one Forge, and now it's Drone. Here, let me go to Google Docs real quick. Here's my game design document right here. Drone basically. So to put it simply, Drone. I'm not even gonna read all this shit. We can go. Like this, I basically finished the entire game design document. And the one thing with game design documents is, make your base game. And the thing is, you need some reference too. Because you can be like a fucking idiot and like you can have all these, I mean, there's like a lot of shit to add. A lot of work to do to like add all these like systems in place. And these are just like surface level shit. If you like read them, it's like there's multiple systems within this system that you have to go like UIs and like a bunch of shit. But basically, when you're making this game design document, you have to like, this is basically the base of the game, the meat and potatoes. But once you have this, like I'm already started, like I didn't like start any cleaning it out, like basically removing shit. But okay, let me get to the point first. So what is Drone? If you ever, I played this game Squad, and I like not the idea I like the concept of Squad. Basically, you have two teams, and these two teams are on the opposite side of the map, and they're basically like fighting each other. And basically, like, I mean, there's multiple modes, but in Squad, you have two teams, and they start from like opposite sides of the map, and they basically fight to control territory and basically move towards closer to the enemy's spawn point, their starting point. And they capture like territory over there. Well, flags. There's territory control, but there's like AWS or some shit. But basically, they capture points of map, and they make their way up to the enemy's base, basically. And that was a cool game where you're working towards with your team. You can build stuff like, you can put mortars down. You can build like bases, like you can put sandbag, you can make literally like outposts, bases. You can like make basically fortify a position like a fob, and it's pretty cool. And players are working together. Teamwork is happening. Communication is happening. Everybody's working together for the goal of basically killing the other fucking team and dominating them. And I really like that gameplay where like people are working together for a goal of destroying the other team, and that the other team is doing the same shit, and they're basically fighting each other. It kind of goes into the primitive human nature of like fucking fighting over resources. This is where this comes in. Like there's a masculine urge, like a monkey urge, a primitive urge to fucking take over land, control resources, make weapons out of those resources, basically like give yourself the advantage for claiming those territories and like fighting over those territories. Now you have advantage. You have those resources coming in because you took over that territory, you fought for it, and now with those resources that you fought for, you can make fucking weapons and kill the other motherfuckers and keep going with your conquest. And this is where Zerone is, like my idea of Zerone. First, it was like it was named Forge. It was more of like a actual squad type of game, like with like weapons and like mortars and stuff, and like basically, kind of like Squad. You have your guns and shit, like basically kind of military game. This game, Zerone, is more medieval and magical. Basically, it's kind of like Reign of Kings and Citadel Forge of Fire. The aesthetic of it, Reign of Kings was a good fucking game. It was, I mean, YouTubers made it popular, like Frankie with PC, like, oh my god, it was nice. But basically, think of it as medieval times. You have your swords, and there's 2 teams of 50 players each side, multiplayer. And basically, you fucking start with nothing, like in Rust, Ark, all these survival games. You start with nothing, and you gather your wood, you gather resources, then you can like smelt the resources, smelt the metal. You can fucking kill the cow, the bison. That's what I have in the game. Well, not yet. But you get your leather, you can make your armor, you can make your weapons, and you go further into the map to gather resources to help you craft better stuff, like swords. Like, for example, iron will be in the middle of the map. And, you have to fight for these resources, sulfur, magic crystals, to basically give yourself the upper hand. And you have to fight for those resources so you can have the advantage of creating the better weaponry and the better armor, the better weapons, to basically give you more of the lethal advantage to kill the other motherfucker and, win the game. And I'm not going in like, I'm kind of like everywhere. But let me fucking, read the shit that I wrote out. Zerone is a 50 versus 50 player game where 2 opposing teams that have to move forward to occupy land and to eventually reach and completely destroy the enemy team's Zerone. It's kind of like the Nexus, if you think of like League of Legends, like Zerone. It's kind of the Nexus. Players spawn with nothing and must gather, craft, build, automate, kill animals and monsters to level up in progress. Players will be able to level up their person, and this just like more bullshit right here. But Zerone is based in a fantasy magic / medieval world that includes swords, wizards, magic abilities, monsters like orcs, werewolves, vampires, dragons, flintlock type guns, medieval armor, something like Citadel Forge of Fire. What is a Zerone experience? Zerone makes you work for every bit of gear. Every bit of gear makes the difference between losing and winning. Resources are heavily contested and require blood to obtain. Players will be forced to fight for valuable resources like iron, sulfur, magic, crystals. Players will be forced to move forward into the map to get these resources, causing skirmishes. Gathering and crafting will be a pain at the start, but players will be able to automate resource gathering and crafting via technologies and souls to power these technologies. You get souls by killing enemy players. Players will build outposts on claimed territory to be able to loot from other to be able to loot from other outposts. The outposts will serve as a global inventory. Basically, the idea is, people spawn nothing. They gather resources. They build their shit. They can build automation buildings. So, like, for example, you can place these kind of like in these not RTS, well, basically RTS games. Like, you have your, like, for example, like Age of Empires. You can put like a woodcutter's hut. I don't know, but basically, you give because the other thing with games that I realized is when a player progresses, you kind of want to, like, as the player progresses through the game, as he plays the game, all the, like, the mundane repetitive tasks should be automated. Not completely automated, but remove the, like, kind of the grind aspect as the player progresses. It's not like completely what I mean by that is, well, I didn't even, like, say what I mean, but it just becomes a different job. First, you're mining wood, and as you progress, you don't mine wood anymore. Well, you don't harvest wood anymore. But now you need to just manage protecting that woodcutter's hut. So you're not doing the labor of getting wood. You're just protecting your fucking wood campsite from other players. The job position just changes. You just get a slightly easier job, but it's kind of like automated. For example, like, you're mining iron ore, with your pickaxe and shit. And then once you get enough resources, you can build a quarry to mine that iron for you. But now you have to protect that iron quarry, and you have to bring the loot out of it. And there's, like, automation to, like, automate that process of, like, taking the loot out, yada yada. So for example, like Rust, Ark. I mean, there's, like, quarries and shit in that game. Well, in Rust, but in Ark, there's some automation. Like, you get better dinos and stuff, and better technology / ways to, like, farm resources. But there's never truly, like, automated way of farming these resources. And, like, there, you still have to go get fucking wood and Ark, stone, iron, fucking what else? I don't know. But I'm kind of fucking everywhere. I'm doing too much talking. I even know about my problem that I'm working on right now. We'll talk more about this later. Fuck me, bro. Yeah. Kind of doing a bad job too. No, whatever. Gonna just scroll this. I don't know, maybe future Nikita will fucking pause some of these, or you can pause it and, like, read it if you want. I'll go do a complete dive and more structured in another video, another game dev diary. But let's talk about what I'm, like, currently working towards at right now. This is kind of what I was supposed to do at the beginning. Let me just show you my human class first. So here's my human class, basically the player. So I have completely coded, and there's a human anim instance class. This is all the code. It is fully networked. My player. Fuck. I mean, I don't feel like doing all this shit, like opening up. Boom. I mean, I do have a backup though. But I have all these fucking things right here that make me basically allow me to, like, move around, jump around, and everything is, like, replicated. So let me show you an example. If we do 3 players, play a listen server. Oops, let me change that real quick. Select the viewport. So, this is my client. Can I make them bigger, please? Come on. So here's my second client, and here I can like move around. You see how the directions change on the player. On the left side, that's what the player sees. Other player. On the client that's jumping on the right side, and left side is like another player basically. And you know, it took me like a week to. I was fucking around. I was trying to like. I don't really want to get into it, but basically I was trying to like use rep notifies, only rep notifies. I was trying to like basically figure out, okay, when do I need to use RPCs and when do I need to use rep notifies? And I was trying to do like, okay, I'm only gonna try to like do this with rep notifies. Basically, I came to the conclusion where like, okay, I need to use some RPCs for these things and rep notifies for these things. So yeah, they have their separate jobs to do. You know, one job requires a RPC, another job requires a rep notify. So I was playing with that around. You know, I made this character by myself. It's laggy right now because, you know, just it is what it is. It's because it just acting fucking weird. The FPS is garbage, but you know, I have an idle animation. Kind of can see it moving. Kind of. Oops. But you know, I have a walk forward animation, walk left animation, walk right, walk backwards. Boom. I have a running animation. I can't, if I press like A, it cancels it out. D. I have a jump animation, a land one. Boom. If I run and I jump, I stop running. Boom. If I spam jump, I basically can't run. There's a little timer that I made. So like if whenever like a player try to like fucking run and jump, he couldn't like do that, he'll be punished. Now these animations are garbage. There's no sound too, by the way. So you ain't tripping. Boom, you see how I'm running, boom, choo. So yeah, it's replicated. And the one thing is once I introduce lag, it's kind of fucking garbage. Now, I don't know how it should work. Cause like when there's a bunch of fucking lag, like what do you expect? Like I can't do anything, bro. Your shit's lagging. I'm gonna have to use gas. That's the gameplay ability system though. But I don't have any like, I mean, I do have the movements and shit, like jumping. Right now what I'm working towards. So I did this, I worked on this for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Well, working on the server shit, like implementing the replicated stuff. Because before, like, you couldn't see me like changing directions. I have to update that with RPC. In the middle of the screen, that's the server. It doesn't sees any animations. The clients see the animation though, so that's the most important one. Well, it replicates the clients. But yeah. So that's that. So my movements are fully replicated. So that's cool. So now I'm trying to, my next thing I have to work towards is learning, because the thing is I want to learn how to make a menu and make a server, and that server pop out in that menu, and then I can join that server, and in that server it will procedurally generate a world. So right now I'm learning how to make a menu. Let me show you that. I kind of already did, but right now it's only, there's like find servers. So I learned how to do that, made a widget, and you know, when I click the widget, it clicks, you know, I can like actually click it and it runs some code. Right now it's just running the debug, you know, my little macro that I made to just play a message basically. Oops. Right here, this plays this. So basically, you know, menu setup gets added to the few, I mean, this U function blueprint callable. If you go here in the level blueprint, where is it? Open level blueprint, because I don't know how to do this from C++. I didn't really give a fuck right now. But basically, you know, I create a menu widget, WP main menu. I basically create a widget, and I calls on begin play of this level blueprint, it gets called the menu setup. So that's what happens there. And then, it runs this code right here. Here's the, the declaration, and you function blueprint callable. So I can call it from the blueprint and actually use this function, C++ function in blueprints. It gets added to the viewport, set visibility, visible. I get the world, world, then I get the player controller, world, get first player controller. From the player controller, I need the F input mode UI only, input mode data, so I can basically set the mouse behavior. So whenever I click on the screen, it doesn't lock out. So I can basically, if I click, because before without that, if I clicked, my cursor would disappear, and you don't want that to happen. And you basically have to reset the game if you wanted to see the cursor again. So that changed it. Set input mode. We set the input mode, the data that we want the input mode to be with. The input mode data to this. We set the input mode of our player controller, me, who is playing the game, who is clicking with this input mode data. And set show mouse cursor to true. And then here with initialize, we basically just initialize it. I don't fucking know what it does. Basically just kind of like a begin play, just initializes everything, I guess. And basically in here we, with the find servers button, which we have here, meta bind widget, we bind it with the find server button, which is needs to be the same name as the server button here. So if I go to my main menu, my widget blueprint, my find server button right here is, boom, find servers button, and I basically binded that with this. So when basically the code inside of this function right here can run whenever I click it, because it's kind of binded to it. And all you got to do is basically just, do uProperty meta, do this macro, and then basically have the same name as the C++ button right here. Basically the names have to be the same. Oops, let me go back. Same as this one, so the names have to be the same. So the button name needs to be the same as this one right here. I'm doing a shitty job. They have to match, so it knows which button is which. And basically, I do find servers on clicked, and then add dynamic, basically add it to the delegates, whatever the fuck. This, so this class, let me show you real quick. User object, so I guess this user object, basically this function. And then, what does it do? Let me explain it. So on clicked, when I click this, it basically adds it to the delegate and this user object, and then it runs this code right here. And then it runs this function right here. And all it does is just prints out a debug message. Just say, yes, success. So now what I'm trying to do, and I'm watching this video right here. Where is it? It's not here. Right here. Not kerosene, but this run right here. And I am suspecting that I need to use some sort of widget, switch widget. Basically, what I'm trying to do here is whenever I click servers, find servers, right here, find server, I'm trying to go to another widget, find servers widget, basically a different menu, and basically go to the find servers menu. So from find server, when I click on it, I want to go to this menu right here, and I don't know how to do that yet. And from what I'm seeing so far, I have to use the widget switcher fucking thing. And somehow I gotta do that. And I don't know. And I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So yeah, right now, if you watch Thor from Pirate Software, He talked about like a little analogy pirate software. This guy right here. He talked about how uh, I'm making this game. Like this game is run right here, and that's the other thing about. I see. I don't know what kind of games people make, but I people say like, oh, make small games, and I did make small games. Like I have a bunch of other, not even games. They're just like little systems of the games I wanted to make, Unreal projects. So like I have my lumberjack. Let me show you this one too. This one was a cool game that I made. Well, not a cool game, just little couple systems you can say. But I'm not a fan of making like. People say don't make your dream game. Depends what kind of dream game you have. Here, let me show you. I was just fucking around with here. Oh, what the fuck is this? This ain't it. What the fuck? Wait a second. Oh shit! What the fuck is this? Oh my! God damn it! This ain't it. Mr. Crafter. I think this is Mr. Crafter. But people say like don't make your dream game. I mean, I'm not like success or anything, but I think a better idea is like, okay, you want to make a game? This ain't it. Or is this it? This is it. Oh, this was like a first like thing. So I can run, boom, boom, boom. These animations were like from like an asset store. Way better though. I mean, look at that. Pretty cool. And like if you hit the tree, you see your wood getting up. Boom. This feels fucking good. Like, oh, you moved, you hit a tree, and you get wood. I mean, this is just fun for me right now, like right here. And the way I did it, like each like object has their own like harvest. It was not on my intention, but this was like the first iteration I was learning. Boom. Pretty fucking cool. Yeah. So, the way I'm taking, like, the way I'm going about it is like, I have my dream game, quote unquote, and I'm just learning. I'm making my dream game like you would normally. Like you build it piece by piece. You make your character. I made my character in Blender. Okay, now I gotta make the animations. So basically, I'm just building my game, my dream game, but piece by piece, and I'm learning how to do all this. But you need to have some context, like this, like because, there's a minimal viable product. Like you need to have like the bare bones, like the most minimal amount of stuff requires, like the most important stuff. That's all you need to focus on because you only have so much time you can make as an indie developer. Like you have to like make the most important things. You can't be like making some bullshit excess stuff. Like everything that you work on has to really matter. If it doesn't really if it's not really important, there's no point of doing it. I'll talk more about my plans, my like success plan or my game plan. Right here, lumberjack. It actually has sounds, and you can actually hear walking and shit here and hitting sounds. We're gonna wrap it up on here. Is this the one? This ain't the one. What the fuck? Oh, this is the one. What happened to all the... Not standalone game. I just want to fucking play the... Motherfucker. What happened? I think I tried fucking around with like assets and it screwed it up. Oh, there we go. So in this game I actually have sounds so you can hear. I made this character by myself. This was my first time. Okay, I'm gonna make a character and I made an idle animation and I made a walking animation. It's actually pretty nice. You can it actually like feel something. Like when you see it move, like there's like a step towards. Like when you walk around, when you step, it's like you can feel the weight. Boom, boom, boom. And all I just was increase the speed. There's no running animation. Oh my god, and don't give me I made these trees by myself too. And I used some material. I fucked around with like materials in Unreal Engine. I made this axe by myself too. I made this swing animation. It's pretty good actually. And you get what you see how the wood counter is increasing. And then this was kind of like I'm deploying wood. So if I press F, I can deposit the wood in the fucking thing. And I can't press, if I spam F, like since I have no wood, I can't deposit because I did that check. Because before I could like spam it and you can hear the sound effect of depositing wood, but I fixed that. Boom. And if I chop another tree, I still get wood. What if I do it here? Then this shit doesn't have it. No. This was like actually the first big win that I had. So that's pretty cool. Let's see how many fucking triangles this tree has. Where is this tree? Static mesh. So what? It has, I mean, it has 30,000 triangles. Yeah, there's a lot of triangles for a single tree. Yeah. I was just fucking around the materials. Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna wrap it up here. But whoever the fuck is watching for some reason, my Unreal Engine used to crash a lot. Like if I left it open, like running a lot. Like if I, left it running like this, it would like basically just crash. Like G3D, GPU, fucking, I don't know. Dump crash, dump memory, I don't know. But my GPU used to crash, not because it was like overheating or anything. But because I had MSI Afterburner on, and I basically had to I overclocked my GPU when I used to play games like 2 years ago. And basically, I had to just not overclock it anymore and basically stop overclocking my GPU. And that fixed all my problems. So maybe you have the same problem. 0.1%, maybe whoever watched till the end of this 15-minute video experienced the same problem. But yeah. So right now I'm working on making this widget shit. So when I click find servers, I can actually go to the find servers menu. Oh, I closed it. I'm not even bother even, but yeah. Game Dev Diary #1. Hello world. First of many. So yeah, I'm gonna go take a shit, take a shower, and try again tomorrow. But yeah, see you guys. Bye bye.